All right, I want to do a reading right now on the general sense of unease. And I, I know I'm not the only one that has been feeling this, but it feels like some sort of tension that isn't necessarily attached to anything. Um, and I don't know. There is this sense that, like, something, the way I feel, it's like something has to break. And I don't even know what the fuck that means, like what area of life or whatever I'm talking about. But we're going to use the Deviant Moon, and we're also learning the Tattoo Tarot. And I do have my handy dandy sheet here for especially for the minor arcana because this is a Marseille style deck and it just looks like a pile of stuff to me. But anyway, we're going to start with the Deviant Moon because this is our trusty deck. Now, full disclosure, I already saw this card as I had shuffled them and when I was putting them down, and I didn't fuck with it because the Queen of Swords is proper. So let's just see what else we got going on here. So the root card is the Queen of Swords, and this is showing um, anxiety and nervousness, and I can definitely say that I feel some of that. I'm going to try to adjust this camera just to make sure that I don't get glare, because glare pisses me off so much. All right, now, what is going on here? So we have a Six of Pentacles as our main card, and this might be a fear over a drain on our resources, or maybe that our energy is just not having any sort of results that we can see, like we're throwing our efforts and energy down the proverbial toilet. So we'll look on either side of this just to see what we got going on. Whoop, two of them want to come out. Well, we've got two kings there. All right. So if this is a past, present, future type situation, then in the past, the King of Wands basically sets the example for other people. So this would be the epitome of acting right. It would be doing everything properly, setting the example for other people by being the example. So this sort of walking the straight and narrow, we'll say, is in the past, is replaced by the Six of Pentacles. And as it moves forward, what we have is the Five of Wands showing all of this chaos and competition, and that comes out with the King of Pentacles. So this could be probably economic, like a big economic fracas, whatever whatever a fracas actually is. But it would show a lot of chaos financially and economically. And here it looks like resources and money are playing into this. Now, so because we're looking at the queen down here, this is a fear, right? But the fear might not actually be based on anything. So let's just see if there is a real thing here. This kind of shows what the fear is about, but I'm going to pull a card to see if there is anything real. Again, we have two that want to come out, and they're both pentacles. Lots of pentacles here. All right. So the Two of Pentacles is showing this sort of rotating thing. Um, and it shows a couple of different things that kind of cycle. Now, what this is actually making me think of is the crypto markets, because I look at those sometimes, and there's this up and down thing that happens in the crypto markets. But this looks like an up and down sort of cycle like that. So there's some sort of thing that is going up and down. Because it's a Pentacles card, we're probably talking about money and financial stuff. So that comes out with a reversed Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is the craftsman. This is about being able to essentially do your job, right? Whatever the thing is that you're great at, being able to do that thing and feel productive. Now, this thing being upside down is showing not being able to do your job, not having that sense of pride and accomplishment because apparently the up and down swings kind of keep it from happening. So I suppose what this is showing is just general instability. It would be like a choppy sea, trying to play a game of chess on a boat and the fucking waves are really big or something like that. All right. So this, to be honest, does not look like the apocalypse is nigh. Now let's look over here. I think I am going to shuffle these. It looks like they wanted to part right there. I am going to give them a shuffle, though. So we're looking at the general sense of unease. And let's just see what it says. And we'll do one of these numbers. Okay. Oops. So our root card here is the Seven of Swords. And the main card is a Two of Cups. So we're going to go to our sheet and just see what it says about these. So we've got a Seven of Swords. Nope, not there. There it is. All right. So the Seven of Swords, skillfulness and determination that needs to be used for the right purposes, considering escape from an imprisoning situation, manipulation that tends to backfire. Well, I mean, as far as manipulation that tends to backfire, this really could be just our plans that we keep seeing fucking blow up in our face, right? And I know I'm not the only one that has had that happen, but we've got all of these ideas of what we want to do, but shit keeps changing. It's like the fucking shifting sands of the desert. And here, the main card that comes out is a Two of Cups. I don't really need this sheet for the Two of Cups, but I am going to see if there's anything that is very unique to this deck about the Two of Cups. Harmonious match, a couple, soulmate, ability to and willingness to compromise, and a need to agree. Well, the compromise thing might be important. And it's difficult to find something that matches your energy and matches your will when everything keeps fucking sliding around. This is definitely what I feel, right? I need the Two of Cups, and it has been nowhere. And I've been fucking searching, right? And I've been very open, and it just hasn't been around. So let's see why. You know, why is this happening? Is there a root cause? Well, we get the Two of Swords and the Emperor. So the Emperor is going to be the control and all of that. Let's just look and see if there's anything unique about the Two of Swords in this deck. As I flip through these. Right. Stalemate, conformity, inner conflict, duplicity, disloyalty, desire for respite. Well, the stalemate is probably the deal here. So the Emperor and the Two of Swords, this would show basically running into keeping in mind that the Two of Swords is mental energy. This would be having all of the control and just running into a mental deadlock. But again, so I guess because the fucking environment keeps changing. So let's just see if there's if this is going to continue. Will it ever stop? And we get the Four of Swords. And the Four of Swords would actually show that it will come to at least a brief pause. So I think that this is only important. Any of this shit that I'm talking about in this reading is only important for people that have been feeling this way. People that have been feeling unable to complete things or make any sort of commitment because of this feeling that something is about to happen, right? And this is saying, I mean, some of this is probably self sabotage, but the Four of Swords is saying that there will be some sort of a respite. Now, let's go back to the Deviant Moon. Make sure I don't have them all upside down, and I don't. All right. Let's just look more specifically at Apocalypse. So we just went past the solstice. So in this upcoming season, are there any big scale fucking crashes or whatever that are coming between the solstice and the equinox? Mm, the Four of Pentacles is showing basically a hesitancy to move forward because of not wanting to lose something. There's something that we would be clinging on to stubbornly, and we have to move forward. And as soon as that happens, when we go through the gate, then there is the star. Now, this, oddly enough, does blend into the reading that I just did about the Galactic Federation, because the star showed up on the other side of, in that case, it was the Fool, but I was reading it as a gateway. Here, we literally do have a gateway into the next world and the star, but without taking this into the fucking buried alien gate direction. This looks like if we are able to commit to fucking something, that it should cause a shift, and then things will be able to work out. Now, I'm going to pull a card. So how do we know what to commit to? How is there any way to tell like the real thing, or does it even matter? So the reverse Knight of Pentacles is showing a disruption to a pattern, which means that if the thing that you are about to commit to is something that has already kind of been a pattern in your life, then it's probably not the right thing. And if you would commit to something that would show a fundamental breakage of your patterns, then that would be the right thing to commit to. I didn't expect this whole reading to sort of take this direction, but I am actually finding this fairly useful. Okay. Now, since I did mention it just now, let's just see if in this season, I'm going to ask specifically about the aliens, because that's what I do here. So let's just see if we're going to have a massive pouring through or visible thing of aliens in the next 3 months or so. And we get the Hermit, which I would take as a no. The Hermit would show if there is any sort of thing, it would not be a mass event. So this isn't like, oh, like the Phoenix lights, right? When the fucking spaceship flew right over the city of Phoenix. This wouldn't be one of them. This would be more of an individual deal. So I guess the cards are not showing big alien activity. I'm going to ask this one again in this 3 month time frame. Do we have any big ecological disasters or anything like massive earthquakes or whatever that are coming up? And we get a King of Swords. As far as a court card coming up as the answer to this question, it would say it depends on who you are. This would mean that it is not worldwide. Uh, just to get a little more on that, we get the Justice card. Wow, the King of Swords and the Justice card. So this might just be, world leader litigation. That shit is definitely happening. It's happening in the United States. Hopefully it's happening fucking everywhere because these corrupt leaders going down is the that shit needs to happen. But that is what we have here. And if you have been feeling this sort of tension that doesn't necessarily lead to anything, what the reading would essentially say is that there are complications in finding a clear path, but don't let this tension keep you from doing it. Like, go ahead and make a commitment to something, especially if it's something that destroys the patterns that you have currently in your life. And as soon as you start moving forward, then everything will kind of work out. Um, so hopefully that's true. And that's what we get here. Thank you and peace.